Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the breakfast show with myself and myself only right now. Because, as you know, Jose is traveling on vacation, going to semiconductor conferences this week. He should be back next week. So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to the chat. Welcome back. It is Thursday. Markets will open in about an hour or so. Pre market looks decent, I would say. If we look at the heat map right now, it looks decent. Okay, Nvidia is up 2% on that UAE chip sale news late last night. AMD continues to go up. And as for the rest, a bit flat. Tesla is down 1.3% or so, but nothing really to be scared about right now. If we look at the pre-market action, Zeta is up almost 5%. I did not see any news around Zeta, but maybe we'll find something. And apparently we do have some refugees again in the chat. Although previously there were a lot of other refugees that became permanent residents of the couch. So welcome and welcome back. Welcome back. Jose is celebrating his iron gains. Maybe I think I don't think he has iron. I think he only has, or maybe he has a little bit, CoreWeave, Nebius, and then some smaller players. For those that don't know, I'm from Belgium, so here it is 2:30 p.m. So iron is up 2.7%. We do have some news with regards to iron. Nvidia is up 2%, AMD is up another percent or so. PayPal is up another percent. I know it's shocking news that PayPal is up 1.1% again right now. Applied Digital is up a little bit. Applied Digital is going to report earnings later today. Who's red? BMNR is down 2% or so. Rocket Lab 0.9%, and then the rest less than 1% down right now in the pre-market action. We do have some news to cover today with regards to Nebius specifically. Well, not Nebius specifically, but a company where they do hold quite a big stake in, and that's ClickHouse. And so for that, we shall go to this post right here from Manuel on X. Great follow, of course. So apparently, ClickHouse co-founder and CEO did share a little bit on the potential IPO of the company, which is ClickHouse, which Nebius did or still owns around 28% of that company. Of course, if they do go public at a super high valuation, that could definitely help Nebius's business and valuation specifically. So I said the following thing. I know it's in vogue for a company to stay private for longer. Well, we've seen that. And I understand the reasons why they do it. They have this asymmetric advantage, access to large amounts of private capital, the ability to grow aggressively, and freedom from the constraint of being public. He is a bit more traditional in the sense that he believes when a technology company reaches a certain scale with strong unit economics and predictable performance, it should go public. It's part of the deal we sign up for. At least that's his view, which again is a pretty bullish. Pretty bullish. This is, in my opinion, talking from a place of strength, I would say. He did say he's biased because he's had two great experiences taking companies public, one at Elastic, where he was an officer, and earlier at Salesforce, where he was a mid level manager. And so that's the objective here. So ClickHouse going public in 2026 is a possibility. Is a possibility. And I mean, Nebius today is worth, let's see, $30 billion. We'll see how much ClickHouse will be worth when they will maybe start go on the road and see how many interested investors there will be for ClickHouse IPO. I would assume quite a lot. I would assume quite a lot because it is one of the most popular private AI startups right now. Private AI startups right now. Yeah, Nebius owns 28, I think, last time, or maybe now a bit less. But yeah, last time the number that they gave us was, I think, 28%. And again, good morning to everyone coming in. Why is PayPal up? Simply because it is still extremely undervalued, and maybe investors want to pick undervalued names right now in a maybe overstretched market. Not everywhere, but I could see some overstretched sectors for sure. Looking at some announcements, actually, let's first talk about Google, because of course, you know me, I cannot not talk about Google. Yesterday, apparently, Google did announce that they're going to invest 5 billion in Belgium. So that's thanks to me, of course. I've been talking about Google so much. They're like, okay, you know what? This Belgian dude, he deserves a little investment in his country. So you're welcome. I contribute more to Belgium's GDP than most politicians in my country. So there you have it. Someone also told me that Microsoft Microsoft or Amazon are also going to invest around $1 billion. So voila, very good. Anyways, Gap, Gap, the clothing company, they announced a multi-year partnership with Google Cloud to integrate Gemini, Vertex AI, and BigQuery across its brands, Old Navy, Gap, Banana Republic, and Athleta. This is one of the Google news, but the bigger news, I would say, is this. Google launched Gemini Enterprise, its new agentic AI platform built to compete with Microsoft and OpenAI. The platform unifies Google's latest Gemini models and no-code benchwork, customizable business agents, and a secure data layer, all managed under one governance system for tracking and auditing. Google says Gemini Enterprise can integrate across an entire organization to automate workflows and boost productivity with major potential in healthcare and life sciences. Healthcare is going to be huge for if we're looking for applications or use cases for AI and how what's going to be the big outcome, because they're all spending hundreds of billions of dollars in this. What's the return on investment? I do think that healthcare is going to be one of those sectors where you will see quite a lot of positive results in the next couple of years. The product marks Google's full entry into the AI agent platform race following OpenAI's AgentKit launch earlier this week. Of course, I do expect quite a lot more of announcements from Google. I still think that Gemini 3 should come out later this year. I mean, later this year, towards the end, maybe December or so. And once that comes out, I do still think it will be the number one out there. Now that we know that they don't have to sell Chrome and Android and whatnot, they can really push out way more um, updates and products, right? Chrome having an agentic Chrome browser. Yes, Gemini Ultra users can have that already, but not everyone wants to pay God knows how much per month. So I do think that Chrome eventually will become an agentic browser. For those that had plans on going, so Amazon is the company that will invest €1 billion in Belgium. Okay, very nice, very nice. So Disney is raising ticket prices again. World at Disney World and Disneyland, citing higher labor costs and park expansions. The only what the heck? The top tier 1-day ticket now costs $224. That's insane. I remember paying $105, $110 or so 10 years ago or something like that. That's inflation right there. Inflation right there. That's crazy. Anyways, moving on to some other news. We've had Nvidia CEO, of course, Jensen, talk about whether he was talking with Kramer or with the other CNBC panelists out there. And he was still quite bullish, right? He was still quite bullish on, of course, on the future of this AI cycle. When you listen to a couple of Jensen's interviews, one after the other, you start to pick up a lot of similar sentences, right? We were only early investors in OpenAI, early investors in CoreWeave, but our only regret is that we did not invest enough. Okay, in hindsight, I also wish I'd invested my whole fortune, not really that much, but in a stock that went up quite a lot. He did talk about Corey specifically. Someone said that he talked about Nebius, but I did not hear Nebius's name. Maybe I missed that part, but okay. But based on his comments, and again, of course, he's going to talk positively about CoreWeave since he's an investor in CoreWeave, so that's his job, I guess. But based on what he's been saying right now, based on what we're seeing also from all the other big players out there, and I will touch on something that Jose and myself have been talking for quite a while. Based on what he's been saying, I think we still have a long way to go in this AI cycle. I will play a short clip afterwards from, okay, maybe not our favorite analyst out there, Gene Munster, because, I have beef with him with regards to Google. But he talked about the fact that now they're going to sell directly to OpenAI, right? And OpenAI is supposed to become a new hyperscaler out there. Previously, they were selling to hyperscalers only. OpenAI had deals with the hyperscalers. And that was one of the, let's say, risks to this whole story is that, okay, all of the hyperscalers, they are buying from Nvidia, but they're also working on their own chips. They're also working on their own chips, right? So previously the headlines were, oh, Google, Amazon, Microsoft are all designing their own custom chips, etc., etc. And that should be bad for Nvidia. Well, on the flip side, you have now Nvidia saying, you know what? Okay, hyperscalers are incredible customers for us, but we can also create other hyperscalers if we want. Heck, we can be our own hyperscaler as well, right? And in this case, it's going to be OpenAI. Nvidia is going to invest a hell of a lot of money in OpenAI. OpenAI is going to become a huge customer of Nvidia. And in the future, yes, OpenAI does become a huge hyperscaler and a competitor to the AWS, the Google Cloud, and the Azures out there. XAI being another big player in this story. And so things do become a bit more competitive, I would say, a bit more interesting. I showed something in yesterday's live with Emir talking about PayPal and SoFi, which was, again, besides the point of this whole conversation. But I showed you the $1 trillion OpenAI ecosystem and what that would look like. So it looks like this. because people, and again, hello to everyone joining the stream. Really, really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. So this is basically how a $1 trillion OpenAI ecosystem looks like. Because a lot of people have been talking about, oh, it's a scam. This flywheel doesn't make sense. It's a Ponzi scheme, etc., etc. Well, the big difference, I would say, between what's happening today, and this is also something that Jensen talked about yesterday on CNBC, the big difference between what we're seeing today, the companies that you're seeing here on the screen, and the pets.com, hospitals.com 25 years ago, is that we are not talking about companies with websites here, right? Okay, the website was the bull case, a bit strange, right? When you think about it, the dot-com bubble was really something else. If a website is your investment thesis, of course, back then you would say, wow, look at this pets.com. That's the future of whatever. Okay, but today you look at the companies here on the screen, you have one, two, three, four, five, six, maybe seven, I think still six here, companies that are worth trillions of dollars. These are companies that generate hundreds of billions of dollars in profits, in free cash flows. These are not companies that have a simple website and that's the business. That's it. No, these are companies with a hell of a lot of money, a hell of a lot of infrastructure, engineers, products, users, billions of users we have here on this picture, right? That's also a big difference. OpenAI since 20 way through now, 3 years times or so, went from around zero to almost a billion users. What company did this 25, 26, 27 years ago? Zero. Zero companies did this. Zero companies did this actually up until, what was it, 15, 17 years ago, 15 years ago or something like that. So there is a big difference. There is a big difference. Now you can say, okay, cool, but OpenAI doesn't have the money. Oracle doesn't have the money. They have quite a lot of debt. I agree. But OpenAI has deals with different customers. OpenAI will raise more money. They will look to co-financing options. Meta is looking at co-financing options as well. But OpenAI's revenues are expected to go up over the years. They can use that. We're not talking here about profitability of the business. We're talking about where the money is going to come from and how they're going to expand over the next couple of years. Because on this picture, you have companies that have one hell of a lot of money. And yes, there will be an increase in debt overall. But debt is not always bad if you know how to use it. Okay, all of these companies have raised money over the last couple of years. It's not always that bad. There will come a time, 100%, there will come a time where we will all be asking a question: what's the return on investment? Because we're still early days. 3 years ago, almost 3 years ago, ChatGPT came out. So we're only 3 years in. I'd say only 2 years in because it took a while until people actually understood what the heck was going on here. And the investment cycle really started to accelerate, I'd say probably 12 months, 16 months ago or so. So maybe 2 years from now, if we're still not seeing huge return on investments, although you could say that for a lot of these companies, you're already seeing right now AI being a benefiting factor here for these companies, right? Google, Meta, Nvidia for sure, right? Broadcom for sure, Microsoft as well. They are already benefiting from this AI cycle in their core business. The question is going to be in the future about OpenAI. When are they going to see their cash burn slow down a little bit? CoreWeave, what's going to happen with that company? Because revenues are expected to go up quite a lot over the next couple of years. Anthropic and all of the other players out there. There will come a time where we could be asking those questions for sure. Today, I still think we are early in this AI story. That's just my opinion. And again, I can be completely wrong. I can be completely wrong. But as of today, I am putting my, let's say, puzzle pieces inside the nice AI puzzle that we are building right now. Maybe in the future, I would have put the wrong pieces there. We'll see. I want to play the clip from Gene Munster real quick, if I can find it. I found it. Let's see. Oh, and yesterday the problem stream were not because of my internet, but were because of the servers that my stream was going into. So sometimes it went into that country, and sometimes it went into the other country. Anyways, should be fixed, hopefully. Hopefully.
Is growing. The chips industry, for example, we're growing. Infrastructure, Azure, OCI, AWS, CoreWeave, Nebius, these incredible companies, they're growing.
Did mention Nebius.
AI models, OpenAI, Anthropic, X, they're growing. And on top of that, AI applications, Cursor, OpenEvidence, isn't that right? We're literally seeing a complete revolution across that entire stack and opportunities across it. And to the extent that we have the financial capacity to do so and to be part of this ecosystem, this entire stack, we're going to participate across that entire stack.
That was Jensen Huang just a few moments ago, right here on Squawk Box. Joining us now, Gene Munster, Deepwater Asset Management Managing Partner. Gene, let's just pick up right there from where Jensen left off in that clip. He says, as long as we have the ability financially to participate, we will. I mean, they're doing a lot more than participate. Arguably, Nvidia's financial resources are the accelerant, and they're kind of seeding the whole ecosystem, keeping it going. Seems unconcerned about a lot of these overlapping relationships. How do you read it?
Well, I mean, it's such a great wide-ranging interview, and I think the first thing that I read into this is that concept of seeding, like you said, is that there's two tracks that go through my mind as I kind of digest what was said. One is, what's his bottom line message, and second, what's new? And on the bottom line message, back to the seeding idea and those four kind of pillars: the energy, the models, the application layers. Those pieces are still so early. What he's essentially saying is that we are far from any sort of bubble burst. I think at the most basic and highest level, that was his message. Of course, he's motivated to say that, his world's most valuable company that is dependent on this to continue, but that was his kind of central message. And I want to kind of zero in on that seeding piece, is that from that perspective, when we think about what they're doing to kind of keep the momentum going, that could be concerning to some investors. If somehow that slows down at any level, then the whole kind of flywheel slows. But there's another way to look at it, is seeding implies how early we are, in fact. And so I think that, my sense is that you're going to look at his remarks based on your general belief or skepticism around AI. If you have a fundamental belief, these are really encouraging points. So I think at the highest level, Mike, I was most encouraged by his comments. He did say a handful of new things. I was encouraged to hear some of those. But at the highest level, he's suggesting that things are going exceptionally well for Nvidia and lots of room to go for the AI trade.
I guess the pushback somebody might offer to a lot of that is, if we're so early, why is the industry kind of outgrowing its sort of innate capital resources at this stage, right? A lot more of the data center construction is by debt. XAI's raise is reportedly more than half debt. Nvidia itself has to kind of recycle its profits back to create demand for its products. So I guess that would be the issue. If it's so early, we're sort of running out of organic capital to use.
My sense is we're not running out of organic capital. I think that, yes, this debt piece is something that's new, but just to kind of give a sense, at Deepwater, we invest in both public and private companies, and invested recently in this OpenAI, this tender offer. And that was, incredibly difficult. The amount of demand outsized the supply by probably a 2x factor. X goes and raises. I mean, nice endorsement that Jensen gave to Elon on the interview, and they're going to be able to raise. And so I think the capital is ultimately there. And I think, one other, something new that Jensen said kind of to that point is, he said that there's going to be, I'm going to quote him here, incredibly large set of new companies that are going to be future giants.
I'll stop it right there already. And I mean, I agree. Imagine if OpenAI decides to go public tomorrow, next week. Do we think that this IPO would be undersubscribed or oversubscribed? I think the answer is quite clear, right? I think if OpenAI goes public tomorrow, it will be the biggest IPO ever. I think if XAI goes public tomorrow, it will also be a huge IPO. So there is still a lot of money to be available for a lot of them. Yes, the fact that Nvidia, which is extremely profitable, decides to invest in the ecosystem where they are still, let's say, the kingpin right now. I think they'll still be for many, many years to come. It makes sense. It makes sense for them to make sure that the ecosystem becomes bigger and bigger, and it becomes a healthy ecosystem. There are, again, in today's world, a company can go from 0 to 1 like that extremely quickly. You can launch a great product, post it on social media. If people like it, it goes viral, and suddenly you can have 1 million users in a month. Suddenly you go from $0 to maybe $1 million in ARR, or maybe even more, just like that. Something that did not happen 25 years ago, was not possible 25 years ago. The whole thing here about, oh, but look at this flywheel, it doesn't make any sense. Like, it's Nvidia investing in all of these companies. Again, why not? Why wouldn't they do it? Right? Because I'll show you the amount of free cash flow that Nvidia I actually pull it right here. The amount of free cash flow that Nvidia is going to generate. What do you want them to do with it? Do you want them to just, I don't know, sit on that cash, put it in under the couch, and that's about it? Or do you want them to invest in AI startups, invest in the whole ecosystem? And by the way, thank you for becoming a member of the channel. And there was someone else that became a member of the channel before I went live, so thank you to you as well. Did not forget it. I did not forget it. So free cash flow. If we look at free cash flow for Nvidia, if it wants to load up, that would be great. So they are expected. Of course, this is the free cash flow that they generated previously, but let's go all the way to when this whole story started. Last 12 months, $72 billion in free cash flow. Pay America's debt. Yeah, I know. I mean, I don't even think it would make that much of a difference, if we're being honest. But okay, last 12 months, $72 billion. This is what's projected over the next coming fiscal years. $97.3 billion in free cash flow in fiscal 26. $137.4 billion in fiscal 27. And $162.9 billion in fiscal 28. So you tell me, if you were in charge of that money, what would you do? Buy more shares of your own company? Pay a little bit more of a dividend? Because right now they're paying out, what, 2 cents, 3 cents, or something like that? What would you do with all that cash? Investing in the ecosystem. It makes sense. It made a lot of sense. Why is that? Because if they invest in the ecosystem, right, if they choose to finance these small AI startups, which of course means that they get new customers, which means that they can make their business work for a long period of time. It's simple. It's very, very simple. You are the king of the hill right now. You are investing in your hill and you are going to expand your reach. Why only focus on where you are right now when you can expand your reach? It's not that difficult to understand. I know the people that always raise the questions, oh, but it's inorganic and blah, blah, blah. It has always happened before. You've always had venture capitalists. You've always had outside investors investing in other companies to try and make sure that those companies with great products are successful. That's the whole point of investing. But now that it's happening here with publicly traded companies and it happens with large amounts and it's AI and it's unknown, then it's a big issue. I think the bigger issue is that retail understood this story. As we've seen from the data, institutions were late, and so they're always trying to catch up and try and find ways how to bring down these stocks. Because to me, it makes sense. When you make, or you're expected to make, this much money, leaving it in cash doesn't make much sense. Investing in strategic partners makes a hell of a lot more sense. It's not just Nvidia. It's all the other companies out there as well that are doing it. It just makes sense. It's also why I'm less worried about a huge bubble forming here, because we have companies like Nvidia backing this, let's call it, bubble. It's a very profitable company. It's not a company that has $0. It's a company that's going to generate $162.9 billion in free cash flow in fiscal 28. So yeah, pretty simple if you ask me. Moving on, I've seen that some of you have told me that Klarna has also reached an agreement with Google, but I do think that it is not Klarna but a firm. I think it's a firm that has reached something with a Google. But we're going to go over a couple of analyst notes right now before the markets open. So first up, global military drone market to surge to $30 billion by 2035. So all of these players here are going to benefit from that if that happens, of course. Then we've got some Costco news that's interesting to me. We've got a CRM note price target cut to $300, but still has a buy rating. Previously, we've had a buy rating or outperform rating and a $400 price target from another analyst. We do have a Dreamforce conference happening or event happening next week. So that could be a catalyst for that stock in case someone's interested in that. Amazon is now catching a little bit more of some attention, I would say. So they got here an outperform rating, price target $265. Analysts see strong Prime Day, but I'm not really focused on the Prime Day. I'm more focused on the fact that we're going to see AWS growth reaccelerate from here. We're going to see advertising continue to grow. We're going to see subscription continue to grow, but more importantly, AWS growth is going to reaccelerate from here. And I do think we are back. I think we're back. We're back. We are again. Jose hacking the stream. Yeah, I think so. Very suspicious that this happens when he's not on stream. Very suspicious indeed. But anyways, what I was saying, and the sound. Okay. Let me actually increase the sound a little bit. So what I was saying is that Amazon, in my opinion, will start buying back shares in 2026, because I do think that next year we're going to see free cash flow increase by quite a lot. And then I mean, they're the only ones not buying back shares with Tesla. So I do think that's going to happen sooner rather than later. Then ASML here. ASML has seen another price target increase. It has been going up quite a lot actually since it's bottomed out. We've seen it go up prior to the Intel announcement. So ASML, Synopsys, equipment makers, IP semiconductor IP companies have gone up after the Nvidia Jensen DDoSed him after the Nvidia Intel announcement. But yeah, equipment makers in the semiconductor industry are also cyclical. But ASML as a company has been a very, very strong company overall. Will Amazon be the first company to hit $1 trillion in revenue? I believe so. They are the ones that are closing in on that number for sure. We've got here a CrowdStrike overweight rating price target raised to $590. That's 15.7% upside from today. Again, CrowdStrike, they put it here at an EV multiple of 23 times fiscal year ARR. So 23 times fiscal year 27 ARR for CrowdStrike, and that's how you reach their numbers. Okay. And as for the Affirm deal, it's Affirm and Google. They expand collaboration to support agent payments protocol. Someone told me Klarna, but I did not see Klarna. And as for Zeta, it's because of Zeta Live. So I assume there is an event going on right now or about to go. Wasn't Tom Brady supposed to go to appear on that during that event? I think that was announced. We got an Applied Digital note before they report earnings. That's also, I never understand why analysts do this. Like they report today. What's the point of raising your price target before? I mean, do you want to be like, aha, I told you so, and that's why? Maybe, I don't know. But this is also based on 25 times fiscal year 28 EV to EBITDA. So we're starting to use here various pricing multiples to reach certain price targets. Robinhood got a Citizen price target raised from $130 to $170. Here we're talking about EPS purely. Their Q3 EPS is modeled at 62 cents versus the consensus of 49 cents, which quite a big difference. Note on Joby, price target increased by 114%, so from $7 to $15. But they do cite lower deliveries, but better cash flow and reduced capex outlook. You know my view on these companies, and you definitely know my view on Oklo. So Conaccord initiate a buy on Oklo and set their price target at $175. They see Oklo as emerging leader in the new nuclear age with long-term upside. That's a 30% upside from here. Just so you guys know, Oklo is worth $20 billion and generates $0 today. But sure, let's increase the price of that stock because it makes a lot of sense. What else do we have here? NHTSA opens probe into Tesla over traffic violation using FSD. Maybe that's why the stock is down a little bit pre-market. DoorDash and Serve Robotics partner to bring service delivery robots to DoorDash platforms. I've seen these little robots when I was in Miami. Very, very cute. Very, very cute. What else? So this was the news from Nvidia for late last night. So US approves some Nvidia UAE sales in step of Trump AI diplomacy, which is why we've seen Nvidia go up a little bit pre-market. Right now, if we're looking at the pre-market action, this is basically it. We have Zeta up 5.2%, Iron 2.85%. So Iron, actually forgot to touch on that. Iron reported, well, they basically told us the following thing. So they priced their $875 million convertible notes offering. And in short, too long didn't read, or for some, the too long didn't watch the whole live stream. They're getting $856.5 million in cash upfront, interest-free for 6 years, and will only have to pay it back with shares or cash if the stock price jumps by over 42.5%. It's not bad, I'd say. That is not bad. It's probably also oversubscribed, but yeah, it is not a bad deal. Not a bad deal indeed. Nvidia up 1.8%, so all-time highs, $192.7. My lovely PayPal, I'm not jinxing it. We all have to touch wood right now in order for the stock not to go down when we open the market. But PayPal, $77 right now, and it is above that downtrend line. It is above that downtrend line. It is now also above that 200-day moving average here on the daily. If you look at the weekly, we are approaching the 200-day at $78. So it's an important week, although we are almost at the end of the week. But we have seen a lot of movements in the options market for PayPal. For those that are new here, I have some PayPal shares still, and I do have call options on PayPal, more specifically a little bit January 2026, $100 price strike price, $100 strike price March 26 and June 26, and then $120 January 2027. All of them are doing, for now, extremely well. Extremely well. Some of them are already up 200% or so. And I know some of the chat is also in PayPal with options. I am not selling. I'm not selling because I do think that we will see a bigger move after the next earnings report. And then for some, for example, the March one, my idea was to give them 2 earnings reports. So I give them 2 earnings reports. The June one, I gave them 3. And the January 2027, you give them a whole year and a couple of rate cuts as well. For the January 26 ones, this is the smallest position there. I am not waiting, of course, until it reaches 100, or maybe, although it might reach before, I don't know. But if we are at $90 or something like that, just after the earnings report, just me making hopium assumptions, it might be good enough for me. It might be good enough for me because those are the shortest one, because they expire mid-January. Mid-January. So far, so good with PayPal, soon to be Pay Me Pal. Hopefully, again, I'm touching wood. I'm not jinxing anything here. United Health, Roberto. Yesterday you closed out at 370. 300, yeah. Well, that's quite 370. Right now we're at 372. So hopefully your birthday was a good one yesterday, and maybe it can continue to go up a little bit more before they expire in December. AMD is making the new highs at $237 per share. So congrats on that to all of us AMD shareholders. Did you see the World Cup ticket prices skyrocket prices? I did see it, and I am still waiting to actually get an email saying that I might or might not buy my tickets, because I did do the Visa pre-sale thing, but I did not get any email from FIFA that I could be buying some tickets. So unfortunately, as of today, I'm not going, but maybe that might change. We'll see. But yeah, it's ridiculous how expensive the tickets are right now. It's like so dumb. But okay, it is what it is. D-Local, still around $14. Uber, still around 100. Very close, actually, to 100. Intel, still holding here at $37. With Intel, I'm not expecting, of course, the earnings report will be whatever. The most important things will be mentioned during the earnings call on 18A, 14A, foundry contracts, etc., etc. That's the most focus, I guess, right now. Nu has pulled back a little bit. We're still in the $15 here. Google is still holding strong. We were extremely overbought with Google a month or so ago at $255. It went down a little bit. It's a bit better here. Shift 4 is making its way back to $80. So that's good. As you know, I did buy a little bit more of Shift 4, did buy a little bit more of a Rubrik as well, as it did rebound on that 200-day moving average, but it does see a little bit of a resistance here at the 50-day one, but I'm still very bullish on that. Duolingo is making some moves. Is making some moves on the upside. It's making some moves on the upside. And good morning, Jose. Good morning. Hopefully, you did get us a couple of scoops during that semiconductor conference. Someone from the chat did ask for you to talk with someone maybe with Air Systems, because apparently Air Systems did drop after the last earnings report. But as you can see, a nice little rebound here at the 50-day moving average. As for Applied Digital, going into this earnings report, we are at $28. Reddit has been flat for the last couple of days here after going down. It has been going up like a rocket for the last couple of months. Talking about rockets, here is another one. Rocket Lab, $65. AST was also going up. Yesterday was up actually quite a lot, and then it went down because, again, the thing with Verizon is a good announcement, but it's just an extension of what was already announced a year ago. So yesterday it was up 8.6%. One point it was up almost 20%, I believe. CoreWeave yesterday was up 8.6%. We're back at we're back at $140. We're going to get a bit more information, of course, from Applied Digital with regards to CoreWeave and all that industry later today. So that might impact the stock as well. So yeah. What else do we have here on the list? Oscar. Oscar is back at 21. So we've got the initial increase here on the rumors and reports that the ACA subsidies might be extended, right? So we reached that resistance point from back in 2024 twice, and this time it happened again. We went back down a little bit. Again, remember, for the Oscar holders, myself included, we are going to 2026, and the guidance for 2027 remains unchanged, knowing that the subsidies are not going to be extended. So if they are, it's a net positive for us. And yes, I will continue to accumulate more shares of Oscar. As for SoFi, we've seen SoFi drop 17%, and then it did rebound here, literally on that 50-day moving average. And since then, the stock has moved back up around 12% or so. And Christopher Holland, thank you for becoming a member. I do think that you were a member already, so thank you for becoming a member again. Appreciate it. We are in the age of the TPU. We are in the age of Google. We are in the age of Google, that's for sure. Google will dominate. That is also my conclusion. Google will dominate. As for the rest, we've got Palantir still $180. We also saw this stock hold. Well, it went under the 50-day, but every time we went back above it. And same thing happened last Friday. So that's Palantir. Has actually been respecting the moving averages quite well over the last couple of years. Amazon, same thing here, 200-day moving average, and now facing a little bit of resistance here at the 50-day one. That's, by the way, on the daily, not on the weekly. Simple moving averages, that is. Marvell did go, and actually went above $90. So not too bad. A very, very nice recovery here for Marvell, basically up 50% since the last earnings report, so at the end of August. Very nice. Micron has been going, well, Micron was above $200 at one point this week, and now we're back at around 194. So really nothing to be worried about there. As for the other stocks that we follow, we have Adobe still probably at the same price. Yep, 348. We have Salesforce still 240. Mercado Libre under the 200-day moving average, $2,183. What about Chime? Yep, Chime is still. Maybe Chime will do what Figma has done, is create a base here at around $20, $21, because Figma was also at $55 for a while, right? As you can see right here. And then suddenly it broke out, filled that gap, and now we're back at $70 for the company. So quite a nice increase over the last couple of weeks for Figma. As for Sezzle, we're also here creating a nice little base in this area right now. $81 on that 200-day moving average. For Sezzle, it's a buy now pay later company, very, very small, $2.something billion in market cap, for those that are unaware. And BMNR sits at around $59 right now. Yesterday, there was that short seller report that came out. Didn't really have that much of an impact on the stock just yet. As for Alibaba, what did we see with Alibaba? Alibaba is still here, taking a little breather after it has gone up significantly since the end of August. $178. JD is, I think, underperforming a bit the other names, though it did go up a little bit, but not as much as all of the other Chinese names out there. What I think about Poet? Nothing. I don't think anything about Poet. I know that the stock has gone up a lot, but that's about it. The first time I heard about Poet is when they paid the other YouTuber to talk about them. And that's all I know. And Jamie here, thank you for becoming a member. Really appreciate it. And I actually appreciate everyone that's watching the channel. Becoming a member, not becoming a member, doesn't matter, but I appreciate all of you. The trade desk has been doing well, right? Since the recovery from the 45s, yeah, but also now facing a little bit of a resistance at the 50-day. At the 50-day moving average. UiPath has seen, of course, a big run more recently after the announcement of last week, when they mentioned Gemini, OpenAI, Snowflake, Nvidia, and all of those players. So that stock went up significantly. 24%. Actually, at one point, in one day, the stock went up 20%, and then we went all the way back down, like as if it didn't happen. But the thing with UiPath, as I've said before, is that right now it's not that exciting. It's not that exciting. I'll show you again the revenue growth of the company and all of it. It's not that exciting for now. So we'll see what happens. I'll pull it up in a bit. Short the trade desk and quantum and nuclear and upper constant. I mean, you can't put the trade desk in the same basket as quantum names and all the rest, because the trade desk is a good business. It's a good company. So this is UiPath. It's a company worth $7.8 billion. But it's a company where growth-wise, I'm not seeing it. Right? If we look at the revenue growth rates here and the expected ones, it's worse than Salesforce. And Salesforce has higher margins. It's an incredible company profitability-wise. So what's the appeal here? At 8.3% revenue growth, then 8.5, then 8.2, and then 9.4. What's the appeal? probably there is no, right? It used to grow very quickly, but not anymore. Again, acquisition target, yeah, maybe yes. Looking at, let's see, the dollar-based net retention rate for the company, it's also something that has been coming down. Although let's see on a quarterly basis what has been happening with the company. Consistently coming down, and now it seems like 108% has been stable for now. We'll see if they can actually increase it. They can actually increase it over time. You got an email October 1st, all Visa pre-sale tickets sold out. I don't think everyone got an email October 1st, because I've had people receive an email afterwards and they were still able to buy it. But yeah, I guess maybe now I know if they are sold out. Now I know why I cannot buy it, but their loss. I'd love to go watch a game at the SoFi Stadium, though. I'd love to go there, but we shall see. Any other names we should look at? Look at margin, he said. I mean, it's supposed to be a high margin business because it's pure software. So it's 82. It's not that special, right? It's not that special. And since we have now way more people, since Amit is not streaming right now, which is my benefit. Again, if anyone here is from the UK, more specifically from London, if you know someone or if you can help me out in getting tickets to Chelsea Ajax, October 22nd, or more easily, Chelsea Sunderland, October 25th. You ask, why Sunderland? It's the same week. So if I'm going to London, might as well stay for the week and watch 2 games. So if you know someone or whatever that has tickets, I need 2. Chelsea Ajax and Chelsea Sunderland. Much appreciated. I'll buy you a beer or 2, or maybe more, depending on the score of the game. But yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Kraken Robotics. So Kraken Robotics is a name that is a Canadian company. It's a name that I actually talked about late last year or at the start of this year. One of the two. During a stream. Same with Ondas Holdings. The reason why is the same reason why people are excited about this company. The reason why is because Anduril was mentioned there. The thing is, it's such a small company that just because Anduril is mentioned there does not make it an automatic buy. I was looking at ways to invest in Anduril. Didn't happen. This name popped up. But again, Kraken Robotics, it's an interesting play. But yeah, just because I've seen it repeat time and time again. Oh, Kraken Robotics, Anduril. And I'm like, yeah, but it's just a very, very small part of all of it. So what about all the rest? Anyways, I'll come back to this because the market is open. So, ladies and gentlemen, Thursday, market is open. Ding, 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 bing, bing, bong, bing, bing, bong. You might think I'm crazy because you're new here and you don't know why the heck this guy is not, why is he saying ding, ding, ding? Well, simply because we do not own cowbells here. Although we do have some cows in Belgium. I do not own cows myself, nor do I own a cowbell. And so I do my best. Jose does this as well. So he does the ding, ding, ding. I am more on the drums. Bing, bing, bong. Markets are open. Heat map will update in a couple of seconds. In the meantime, you can watch the watch list right here. We are here in a tug of war. 50-50 green, red. Zeta still up 5.3%. Iron 3.6%. Nvidia 2%. Oscar is up despite Jose being in the chat. Oscar is up. But Oscar has been going down a little bit over the last couple of days, so that's fine. PayPal is up. PayPal is up. You know, Jose, I think since you left, PayPal has gone up. So maybe that's the thing. Maybe that's the thing. Come back when PayPal is at 100. No, but come back next week. HIMS is up 1.4, Uber 0.5, Reddit 0.7, and the heat map is updating right now. United Health basically 0.5, D-Local 0.5 as well. Who's read the most is BMNR, just 2%. Just 2%. I did... can you... I don't know how you knew this, but this is a company that will feature in today's video. So there you have it. This is a company that will feature in today's video. But yeah, we are going to go over a couple of companies right now. We're going to go over a couple of companies right now and see if we have some other interesting news that came out in the meantime. In the meantime, of course, some companies that are not on the watch lists as well. Oh, actually, we have this. Intel unveils groundbreaking AI PC platform Panther Lake on 18A. So finally, this thing is out. This is Libutan, the GOAT. So finally, this is out, which is good. We'll see if the stock reacted accordingly or completely ignored it. Intel. It's still down. But we're holding on. We're holding on right now. Yes, AMD is stretched. I know. I think we all know. I know the 2 tickets is for me and a friend who also lives in London, actually. So no Mrs. Couch just yet. Stamford Bridge is a nice stadium, but it's too old and too small. For this club. It's like 42,000 seats. Doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. So anyways, if someone knows someone, hit me up on X or send me an email and I'll send you a present if I can attend the game. But anyways, going back to my path leaps are not dead. Now, after the recent thing, you're definitely not. Well, depending on what you bought. PayPal is the new Jose bet. So going back to the stocks here. Rubrik. I invested in Rubrik, of course. I increased my position this week. I think this one is becoming slowly but surely a very, very interesting company to continue to follow for a long period of time in the cybersecurity space. As you know, cybersecurity stocks are usually very, very expensive. Very, very expensive. The Emirates Stadium is very nice. Of course, it's a more modern stadium. I hate to say it, but Spurs have one heck of a stadium. And I do think there is an NFL game happening there pretty soon for those that are interested in the other football. Anyways, CoreWeave is down a little bit. Applied Digital is down 0.7. Someone asked if I talked about Applied Digital just yet. Well, the only report, I think, after hours, not pre-market, unless I'm mistaken, which I will correct myself in a bit. But all the rest here, we're actually getting a bit more red than green for now. Nebius is basically flat, still at $122. Nebius is maybe one of those companies, because I know people will ask me, are you buying more Nebius right now? No, I haven't bought Nebius since I think $90 or something like that. Nebius is maybe one where you should maybe look at selling puts, like at $100 or so. If it goes down, great, you can buy the shares. If it doesn't, then they expire worthless, you collect the premium. It works because you want to hold the shares. So that could be a strategy here in order to increase the amount of shares that you want to own. I have not been there, but I wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind. Stamford Bridge is the best because not only once, but twice. But yeah, I think I thought the UK would host a World Cup in the future, but maybe they will, maybe not. I don't know. But anyways, anywho, what do we have? We have PayPal now only up 0.3%, so we are seeing a little bit of a selling pressure. Although we've seen that yesterday as well, because if I zoom in right here, you see yesterday we did go all the way down to $73, closed out the day at 76. But that's fine. That's fine with PayPal because you don't want to go into the next earnings report when you are extremely overbought. You don't want to be that extended. What about Old Trafford? Old Trafford is a huge stadium. It's old, but it's big. It's like 75,000 seats or something like that. I'd love to go there. I mean, I do play there quite a lot as Bruno Fernandes, as you guys know. But yeah, when it rains, it's not that nice. When it rains, it's not that nice. Stefano, it seems like you could get me some tickets to the games I need. Seems like you can. Pagaya has gone up since I talked about it. No, not much. Not at all, actually. Maybe $1 or so. Talked about it, I think, here, 29. So we're still here in that base. Again, we are seeing a huge pullback, 33.8% here. The pullback is also because of the credit fears and delinquency ratios and Upstart and whatnot. I think they will prove themselves. They are expected to report their quarterly figures November 10. So we'll see. I do expect them to report yet another good quarter. I did update the portfolio with a screenshot. I did buy call options, risky ones though. January, and I'll pull it up actually. I will pull it up. Un momento. Because yesterday I said uno momento, and someone told me it's un momento, not uno momento. And Apply Digital is after hours. So now we know Apply Digital is after hours. So you used to. What use are you for me right now? You have the tickets pre-sale at 10 a.m. Wish me luck. Well, good luck. Good luck. So with regards to Pagaya, I do have this. So this is what I bought. January 26, $40 strike price. 30 contracts. So this is the amount. This is in Dutch for those that wonder. And yeah, so this is basically what I have right now. It's risky because I am betting on a big move on the upside after the earnings report, which of course should move the stock closer to $40. And with this one, look, if I can double my money before this date, I'll probably be out. I'll probably be out. Quick bet here trade. The more I look into these option strategies, the more I'm like, why didn't I look into this earlier? I know it's risky, and that's why the majority of my portfolio is still just me owning shares. But it is a very good tool to know and have in case you need it, especially if you have big pullbacks, right? Because I would imagine if we look at an Nvidia right now, I would imagine that if we have a crash right here, right, back in April, you of course can buy Nvidia shares at $90, or you could have bought call options for Nvidia of, I don't know, what was it previously here, $150 or so, and put in a bet that it could go up $150 because you thought that this was just a huge overreaction didn't make much sense, and so you bought a January 26 $50 strike price. Guess what? We're at 192 right now. You would have, of course, been printing money today. I don't know how cheap these call options would have been, but it is a good tool to have. It is a good tool to have. It is extra risk, of course. It is extra risk because you are playing with time here. My bro is gambling. No, I'm not gambling. I am increasing the risk profile of some of the parts of the portfolio. Because I do think that my options play with PayPal is not gambling, because to me it's extremely undervalued right now, and giving them so much time to reach $100 is not gambling. But yes, you could say that the risk of losing everything is like gambling, because the options could expire worthless. Could, of course. Serve is up on the DoorDash deal. Yeah, but how much? Let's see. Whoa, 18%. Yeah, not too bad. 18%. It's been one hell of a ride here for Serve. Yeah, not bad. Not bad at all. Leaps are not gambling, but the risk reward is tilted towards the risk. Yeah, I mean, leaps, of course, again, depends the strike price that you're choosing. But like, for example, I chose $120 PayPal January 2027. To me, if it doesn't reach $120 by January 2027, something has gone extremely wrong with my thesis and with PayPal, or with the market. So we'll see. Please let us know where we're exiting PayPal. I'm not exiting PayPal anytime soon, but I will definitely let you know. Let you know when. And again, when I exit the first one I'll probably exit is definitely the January 26, but I might just buy the shares afterwards, because I do want my shares. My Intel options were a good call. It's more of a, yes, it was a good call, but the timing of it was extremely lucky. I admit. I mean, I did not know that this is what we would have been seeing. Right? I bought my options at around when the price of the stock was $20, $21. I did not know that we were going to get my friend Donald in this story, nor did I think we were also going to get Nvidia in the story and SoftBank in the story. And so, yes, it has worked out extremely well, but the timing of it was more luck than anything else. The idea behind it makes sense because, again, it's January 27, $30 strike price. So I gave them like a year and a half to figure it out, which made sense. So what is Tesla doing right now? We knew it was down a little bit, but still 2.16%. They're expected to report Wednesday 22, October 22. So we still have, what are we today? So we have 2 weeks. Okay. Like, well, what date are we? We have 2 weeks time. Let's see. What do you think about Adobe? You know my thoughts about Adobe. I think it's cheap. It's cheap. It's not one of those, oh, we're going to triple from here. But I do think you can beat the market from here. Same with Salesforce. Because again, Adobe, I'm not yet seeing any cracks in the business. It's just a narrative story for now around the stock. It's a very profitable business, high margin business, growing business as well. But the narrative is not there. Same with Salesforce. Although with Salesforce, you might say, yeah, but Salesforce is really not growing that fast. Supposed to be growing more. Plus, they are acquiring companies. So that's also a question mark here. Yeah, okay, I agree. But again, it is a very profitable business. It's a very profitable business, but it's not it's not in the same category as the other growth stocks, I guess, that we are interested in right now. But if you want more defensive plays, especially going into 2026, I think Adobe and Salesforce are probably prime examples of those. More exciting examples are, of course, one, Amazon, no brainer, in my opinion. And then $2,185 per share for Mercado Libre. I know it is expensive to buy one share of it if you don't have access to fractional shares, but it is one heck of a company. One heck of a company, Mercado Libre, after this dip, overblown in my opinion, and probably an opportunity for those that always wanted to buy or maybe accumulate more shares. DaVinci Resolve is better in my opinion. It is free and just as good as Adobe. I use DaVinci Resolve. It is free. You can pay for it, of course, to have all of the other features. The thing here is that with Adobe is you pay a subscription and you have access to all of the other Adobe products, right? Not all of them, because there are some things where you have to pay a little bit more, but it is an ecosystem that works well one with each other. The Creative Cloud one. But still, if you look at the numbers, no cracks just yet. No cracks just yet. John, though, what kind of questions do you prefer to answer, not answer in the chat comment section? Honestly, sometimes I catch questions that are interesting, and sometimes I don't. Because at first, when I started streaming, I was answering almost every question, and then I was like 10 minutes behind on chat. I was like, this is not possible anymore. So when I see something interesting pop up, I answer it, and sometimes I miss, sometimes I don't. It is what it is, I guess. It is what it is. We are now seeing more red than green. That is very true. We are now seeing more red than green. What did we say we wanted to check? The other players. Figma is down a little bit today, 5.5%. Okay. Klarna. Klarna is Klarna is interesting. Stock went public, went all the way back. I missed this. I actually did not know it went all the way back to $35. And since then, we have seen it rebound a little bit here. So it's up around 24% or so. Interesting. I do not own Celsius. No, I do not own Celsius anymore. So no, I don't even drink it. As for AMD, where is AMD? In this case, here it is. So AMD, of course, is extremely overbought right now. You can see it right here. Extremely overbought. We are also, to go and reach the 50-day moving average, it will have to drop 27%. So we're 40% away from it. Or it's 40% away from the 50-day moving average here. Of course, the reason why we are overbought is company-specific news. It's not just because we had more buyers than sellers. Yes, but it is specific news about the company. That's why this is happening. Of course, the OpenAI deal. Now, right now, I am already seeing some people think that this thing will go to the moon, $1 trillion, etc., etc. It's going to take some time, right? Because we are talking again here about that deal. We're talking about the MI400 series, and the MI400 serum 450 and the MI500. It's for probably end mid 2026, and then the next generation is going to be 2027 and onwards. So these are things that will take time to materialize, to go from the top to bottom line, to actually see it in a financial report. So I'm not selling any shares right now. I have my nice position. I'm not selling any shares right now. I am also waiting for the next earnings report and to hear more information about the business today and the guidance that they're going to give us. Maybe they're going to announce something else. Maybe the results will be much, much better than expected. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that China business as well. But no, I have no intentions of selling any shares of AMD right now. AMD could also be, if you want more shares, maybe selling puts here as well could be a good opportunity or strategy, I would say. Unfortunately, PayPal is red. That's not good. That's not good. Unfortunately, PayPal is red. The energy is down. No, PayPal is red. Okay, we'll see how we end the day. As I said at the start of the week, the most important part is to finish the week above the 200-day moving average right here. On the weekly, we still have to go to $78 right now. We don't want to be overextended going into this earnings report, although I do think that the earnings report could be a catalyst for the stock to go even higher. Nvidia is making new highs. Yeah, I know I jinxed it. So even touching wood didn't help this time. Nvidia went up even higher, up 2.58%. Iron, wow. Iron is up another 4.7% today. $63. $63. It's, yes, also overbought here. And I mean, look at this. It's incredible. Incredible. But what do I think about Verizon? It's, I guess, I mean, it's a solid dividend paying business, but a bit too boring for me. They have now Dan Schulman, previous PayPal CEO, as a CEO, and Oscar's CEO as a new member of the board, actually chairman. So, do you watch Adam Co finance videos? I think I watched some. But it's not something. It's probably because it popped up once or twice on my feed. But that's about it. PayPal has stayed in the same price. You see, these are the types of comments that make me even more bullish. PayPal has stayed in the same price range for 3+ years, but go ahead and think it's going to break out. You know why? Because the business is not the same as 3 years ago. 3 years ago, Alex Chriss and the management team were not at the company, just so you know. Alex Chriss has been at the company now 2 years, a completely new management team. A lot of actually new things have been launched inside of PayPal. A lot of things that were broken inside of PayPal are being fixed, has been fixed. Venmo's growth is accelerating. Braintree has now actually become a profitable part of the business, although growth did slow down. That's expected to reaccelerate already in this quarter. But sure, because the stock has not moved in the past, that's why it will not move in the future. That logic has never worked out. You know why? Because people buy companies. They don't buy candles. And another prime example here is the people that said Alibaba did do nothing for a while. So sure, go ahead and think it will break out. Well, guess what? Alibaba is up more than double year to date. Surprise, surprise. Guess what happens when buying good businesses at good prices? You get rewarded. You get rewarded. Also, again, there is literally 0 point to look at stupid candles and think that you understand the business. You buy a business. You don't buy green and red candles. Okay? This does not tell you much about the business. The financials, they do. They do tell you quite a lot about the business. Baba is still a trap. Look at the financials. I looked at the financials. I don't see the trap. I don't see the trap. They are growing. The cloud is growing. So no, I don't see the trap. But again, I have some receipts ready when PayPal is in the triple digits. But I'll be very nice. I'll be very nice. BMNR is down 3.8% right now, which doesn't mean that much because we are back to prices not seen since last Friday. So that's not such a big deal. That's not such a big deal. Exactly. Short term, it's a voting machine. Long term, it's a weighing machine. It is true. It is true. Data Vault AI revenue. What is? Ugh. These are the types of names that Data Vault AI. Let's see. Data Vault. It's already one of those weird names. Data Vault. We'll see what we can find there. What about Enphase? Enphase is, Enphase is still in the penalty box right now as an residential energy player, although they are entering First Solar's market, or expected to enter that market, which could help them over time. With rates coming down, you could say it's going to help them as well. I would agree. So Data Vault is up a substantial amount. It's a company specializing in secure Web 3.0 data management, blockchain, AI, and data monetization, really using all of the words that they have to use. Market cap, almost $500 million. Revenue, 4.4 million. Revenue, 4.4 million. That's in the last 12 months. It's growing, okay. But again, it's expected to generate $62 million by fiscal 27 for now. The Data Vault AI, the Data Vault AI thing, company. Now, there is a difference between being a trader and being an investor. With a trader, I can understand why you're looking at certain patterns for the short-term moves. Investors don't mind buying undervalued stocks for a long period of time because they increase the amount of shares that they own. Because again, the market can stay irrational longer than you can stay solvent. As long as I can buy shares of an undervalued company, I will be buying shares of the undervalued company because at one point, the market will price that company accordingly. It has happened historically, and it would happen so in the future. Bag holders, you assume that everyone is bag holding PayPal. And again, what's the point? You call out PayPal. Do you own it or do you short it? If you don't want to buy it, why spend energy talking about PayPal? Spend energy on buying other companies, I think would be better. But again, there is a big difference between being a trader and being an investor. And the same can be said. I'll give you other examples. For example, SoFi. Right? SoFi was opportunity cost bag holders, right? For a long period of time. The stock has done nothing for the last 2 years. Well, then the stock went from $6 to $27 or even $30. Again, I think the people that accumulated an insane amount of shares during 2 years are very happy that they had time to accumulate a lot of shares under $10. Unless, of course, you think you should see stocks go up 100% on a weekly basis, but I don't think that's realistic, I would say. And yes, eventually price does follow revenue and especially earnings. I missed something here. No. Hello, Diego. Welcome. I don't know. I missed a comment here, but I can't find it again. Let's see if we have. So the heat map is not that pretty for now. Heat map is not that pretty for now. But then again, as I've shown you before, not statistically, the data did show that we could see a little pullback. We could see a little pullback this week. And it's healthy. Having some pullbacks from time to time is healthy. So Intel, they launched its Core Ultra Series 3 Panther Lake chips, the first AI PC processor built on its 18A 2nm class node in Arizona. They deliver over 50% faster CPU performance and up to 180 TOPS of AI acceleration. The 18A process boosts performance per watt by 15% and chip density by 30% versus Intel 3. Panther Lake ships later this year with full availability in January already, 2026. They also previewed Xeon 6 Plus Clearwater Forest, a server chips built on 18A, featuring the 288 efficiency cores and set for the first half of 2026 launch. Now, 18A, of course, they have a lot to prove to themselves, to the market, and to future potential customers. Because if 18A is successful, it's going to be great for 14A and for the Intel Foundry business, which means that they could be announcing more potential clients in the future. Remember, the Nvidia Intel announcement had nothing to do with Intel Foundry. For now, they're going to use TSMC, but for now, Intel Foundry, we're still waiting. We're still waiting to hear a bit more about that. Figma. So Google Cloud, Google has been announcing a lot of deals today. So Figma expanded its collaboration with Google Cloud to integrate a Gemini 2.5 Flash and Gemini 2.0 and Imagen 4 models directly into the design platform. So Google Cloud making some nice moves right now. What did we say that Figma was doing today? It was down. I think it was down 5% last time we checked. It's down 3% now. It's down 3%, and Google itself is down around 1%. Okay. Seems like it's a Thursday. June, welcome. Welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. Thank you for the super chat. Thanks for everything you do. I have a sizable amount of cash after profits. What would you recommend right now? Well, first of all, thank you. Second of all, congrats on the profits. What to do? Again, I don't know your situation. I'm not here giving personal financial advice. Depends on what you own already, because I assume you still have some positions in your portfolio. As I said, usually the best opportunities and companies are already in your portfolio because there is a reason why you own them. If you have cash, again, I've also been increasing my cash position. If you don't see anything interesting, then don't force yourself to buy something. If you do see things that are interesting, then buy dollar cost average. Because there's no other answer, to be honest. There's no other answer. Join us on the PayPal train. Yeah, maybe. Mr. Fisher, thank you for becoming a member of the channel. More refugees coming. Well, everyone's welcome on the couch. Refugees can become permanent investors if they want. Couch doesn't like BMNR. I own BMNR. I actually have a video of BMNR coming out soon. I own BMNR. I have only 169 shares, which I think are worth now 10 $10,000. So, I think you just committed to doing something. The day couch jumps on BMNR, I'm loading the boat all in. I guess you missed the video when I said that I'm going to buy BMNR a couple of weeks ago. Because, yeah, my first video on it talked more about crypto treasuries, what they're all about, what's the deal with BMNR, and why I'm still a bit skeptical about all of it, but why I'm still researching. And then actually you can follow each video. There is an evolution of research and way of thinking. But yeah, my position is very small. My position is very small here compared to a lot of other people that are long BMNR. So Bitmine, I have, like I said, 169. Yes, exactly that number, with an average of 44 point something. But I am realistic. Okay, I am realistic. I am on this train because, okay, there are some things that do make sense. And over the last couple of weeks, we've been seeing a lot more chatter around tokenization of assets, even from NASDAQ. So there is actually a move towards it. But I am realistic. I don't see this go up 10x tomorrow or even next year. I don't see Ethereum reaching, what is it right now? Reaching $60,000 or so soon, right? We have seen a huge jump in Ethereum more recently. It's been around the same range for quite a while. And again, it's fine. It's fine. But yeah, now you have committed. Now you have committed, and thank you for the support, and my pleasure. Who's talking about iron here? Who's sell iron coal? Where is iron actually? Here. Iron is crazy. And by the way, all of this happens without co-location deals, right? All of this happened without a co-location deal. Yes, it happened because others announced co-location deals. But for now, I am purely seeing Iron as them trying to build out their own solutions, their own AI cloud service, and that's about it. Maybe they will have, or maybe they will announce co-location deals in the future. But again, it will be ones where it would make sense for them, margin-wise, return on investment-wise. It would make sense for them. They've got the land, they've got the future potential energy and all of that. Is it worth chasing right now? Honestly, no, probably not. But then again, I mean, I bought at 50 again last week. It's up it's up another 25% or so. But at one point you're like, maybe it is time to chill out a little bit and wait until we get more results, because I do think we are still owed a monthly report from them for the month of September. I think so. TJ, thank you for the super chat. Any thoughts on swing trading Grab W? My Grab position is 5 times larger than my Grab W, but seems like it's set up for a quick swing on good earnings. Grab is at what, 6.5? 6.2 now. Okay. I mean, like I said yesterday, some Chinese and Southeast Asian names have all followed the same pattern over the last 2 months or so. So Grab W. What is Grab W? What is a Royal Vizier? Grab W. You see, this is already outside of my circle of competence. I like Grab. I've liked Grab already since last year. I think I was the first one to pick this one up on the channel. I think the stock was, what is it, around here, 3 something, maybe touching 4. But I then bought Uber, which, as you know, Uber owns a portion of Grab. And I had also Alibaba, so that gives me the Asian exposure here as well. And so I was like, you know what? What's the point of opening another position? And so my exposure to Grab is indirectly, it's through Uber. And so if Grab goes up, I'm happy. It's a good company, has that nice super app type of potential. I've explained to you why Southeast Asia, the countries where Grab dominates and operates in GDP wise, they're growing fast. They're expected to grow fast in the future as well. And all of those things, these are warrants. Yes, this I have understood, but the play with those things, I don't have an opinion on that. But yeah, Grab is a good company. It's despite the low stock price, because I know people usually think that low stock price means very small company and big stock price automatically means big company. But Grab is already a company worth, what is it now, $25 billion. So I have a video. I think the title is, can Grab become a $100 billion company? I said, yes, I think it can in the future become a $100 billion company. But it will take time. It will take time. But it is a good company with good management, for sure. Cypher. Yeah, Cypher has also been making some moves recently. Yeah? Cypher has also been making a lot of moves, actually. We can now go back 270% in 2 months. 270% in 2 months. A lot of these smaller plays here have gone up 100, 200, sometimes 300%. White Fiber, right? The Bit Digital company. I did watch Jose's video from last week to understand a little bit more. Also, went public, went up a lot. But when you look at the megawatts available and the megawatts that are going to be available for the company, and then you look at the IT load and how much they could be generating from it, it's not that exciting. I mean, it's exciting because it's revenue-wise, they are going to grow a lot more. But when you look at the dollar amount, a Nebius, a CoreWeave, an Iron are expected to generate a hell of a lot more money in the future. Now you might say, okay, actually, my question was, why not? What's the ticker for? I guess I could just write it, Bit Digital. I think it's Bit Digital. Why not just buy Bit Digital? You get the mining business, and you get 70% of White Fiber. That was my question. Why not do that? Is it purely because from an upside perspective might not be the same, or from a catalyst perspective might not be the same, or purely because people just don't care about this side of the business? They purely want the AI cloud side of the business. I don't know. I know some people in the chat probably own White Fiber, or maybe even they own a Bit Digital. But yeah. To answer this question, I will just answer what I did. I bought those two names this week. So that's the answer. Shift4 and Rubrik. I mean, I added more shares to my position of those two names. Okay. Ethan here. Warrants are similar to call options. Warrants are very interesting. You will have to read into them, but they can either convert your warrants into shares. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Or make you exercise by buying the stock. Okay. So here, okay, so you're playing basically the volatility game here, right? You're expecting the stock to move up on the upside quite a lot after earnings. So, okay, it leverages Grab in this. Okay, okay. Makes sense, but I will read more into it. And is it Yannick Sinner in your profile picture? Ethan Smith. I've got BTBT. Okay, so can we? Orientation by the company, correct? Okay, so they want to separate from Look, I guess it makes sense. I guess it makes sense. I guess it makes sense. Tanner was pumping Shift 4. Was he pumping Shift 4, or was he just talking about the company and why he likes it and why he owns it? There's a difference. I don't think he's pumping. I don't think he's pumping Shift 4. I don't even think he has such a big position in Shift 4 to start with. But it is a very good business. It's such a shame that Jarrett is not CEO anymore, but he still owns 25%, I think, of the shares. That's me. What? This is you? It looks like it looks like Yannick Sinner at the US Open. Not bad. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. So Webull did crash. I think yesterday we looked at it. We found out that the lockout period apparently expired. So some selling pressure. But it seems like yesterday there was also some buying action. Right now, it's still an interesting company. I don't think it's the next Robinhood, but it is an interesting brokerage company that, yes, is expanding in other geographies. The thing here is that we're still waiting for them to monetize a lot of the free users, right? Because you can be a registered user for Webull, but you're free. So who cares? It's up to them to actually show that suddenly the monetization side of it kicks in. That's it. Do I like tennis? I like tennis, yes. I like tennis. I started playing paddle as well. So I like it. I didn't want to touch paddle before because it was removing a lot of tennis courts and it pissed me off. But it's a fun game. It's a fun game. I do have to say that it's sometimes annoying because you have to find 4 players on the same level. Because if one of the 4 sucks, it's a horrible experience. With tennis, you only have to find 2 players, like yourself and your partner. It's simple. It's simpler. Yeah, but it's a shame that both of them are injured a bit right now, especially for the Shanghai Masters. It's we still have Djokovic playing, and I think Medvedev. Actually, isn't Djokovic playing right now? Yeah, for those that are new here, we talk about everything on this channel: sports, travel, stocks, and whatever you like. Who's my all-time tennis GOAT? It's a Spanish guy. It's Rafa. It's Rafa. This has been my guy for the last 20 years. This is why my knee is completely screwed up, because I tried to play like him all the time, and yeah, and that's why. But I miss the old guard. I don't know. They brought something special to the sports. They brought something special to the sports. Although I do enjoy watching, of course, Alcaraz, Sinner play right now. But the problem is it's just the 2 of them. That's the problem. That's the problem. It's just the 2 of them. Sometimes, yes. I mean, actually, no, because Medvedev didn't win a tournament for the last 2 years. Shocking, I know, right? But Medvedev hasn't won a title in the last 2 years, which is crazy. Zverev, I think, will retire as probably the best player to not win a Grand Slam, or at least one of, but I think you could say maybe the player with the highest potential that did not win a Grand Slam at all. It's crazy. But yeah, would be great to see like Rafa and Roger play an exhibition match soon. I think it will happen. I think it will happen. Finding a bad partner in tennis also makes... Yeah, but do you want to play tennis with a bad partner? Probably not. Probably not. We have too many. We have a lot, but we have a lot less now. We have a lot less now. Pickleball, no. Pickleball, you will never see me play pickleball, ever. Ever. Roger Novak 2019. I mean, I don't think you can bring this match up to a lot of Federer fans because PTSD. But it was a very good game. Rublev will never win a slam. Yeah, okay, but Rublev, he's like such a nice guy off the courts, but on the courts he's like complete nuts. Like completely nuts. But yeah, someone asked about Ferrari. Since we are talking about sports here, we can talk about Ferrari right now. What do you think about Kyrgios? I used to love Kyrgios. He came once actually to play the European Open in Belgium. I have a picture with him, but he was such a douchebag that since then I I don't like him. Plus, I don't like him because he's extremely talented and he's an arrogant twat. I think that's how they say it in the UK. He is an arrogant twat. He spends more time on social media criticizing great players than actually picking up a racket and playing good tennis. But yeah, this is Ferrari. So Ferrari dropped 13% today. And yes, they have probably one of the best tickers out there, which is race. Kyrgios is the Jeremy, s'il vous plaît. I know who it is. Casse pas les pieds. Do I? Yes, I did. I did open a position in Shift 4 like 2 weeks ago. So it's a fresh one. I got raised when they split from Stellantis, sold around 250. I always wondered if it made more sense to buy. Yeah, probably. I mean, when it went public, yes. Like to buy the stock and not the car. But I'm pretty sure that there are some cars that are worth buying more than the stock. Am I buying Ferrari stock here? No, I'm not. It's still expensive, but it's still like a super high margin business. But yeah, I'm not talking about it. What's with the other? LVMH has also been underperforming, but it has been recovering a little bit. Interesting. But if you want a luxury play, I guess Hermes is the best one out there. Especially now that there has been a huge pullback here. If you want a luxury play, Hermes is the one because their margins are unmatched. Now you can be a Max fan and a Ferrari fan. Only F1 driver to win a Ferrari this year. I know. Now the funny thing is that when Schumi was around, sorry, let me correct. When Schumi was driving for Ferrari, I am a Ferrari fan, but I am a Max Verstappen fan specifically. One, because he is half Belgian, for those that don't know, although he does fly under the Dutch flag, he is half Belgian. Plus, I just like the way he acts. Just a normal dude. I mean, you know the clip where they ask him like stupid questions. It's like, if my mother had balls, she would be my father, or something like that. It's a typical Max response. But yeah. Yeah, Max was actually born in Belgium. We actually have a couple. Norris is also half. I think Lance Stroll is also half. Who else? I think that's 3. It's enough. I think that's enough. Actually, I wanted to check if Djokovic won his match. He did win. Against Zizou Bergs, Belgian. He won in 2 sets. And he has a very easy semi-final, I have to say, against a Polish dude, Valentin Vachereau, who won against Holger Rune today. Huh. Interesting. The more you know. The more you know. And yes, Cristiano Ronaldo is a billionaire right now, apparently. Apparently. The Messi Ronaldo debate is settled. You know, I do hope both of them play at the World Cup, and like Argentina and Portugal play a game against each other, because I do think that could be a legendary game. Just like in tennis, you have Rafa Roger finals of Grand Slams, Roger Novak, Rafa Joko Grand Slam. I think we need a Portugal Argentina before those two retire. We need it. If my aunt had balls, she would be like, yeah. Yeah, good. It's a funny dude. I'd be shocked if I would be shocked. Yeah, I don't think, as long as the other two, as long as Sinner and Alcaraz are fit, I don't think he's able to win. I don't think he's able to win a Grand Slam as long as they're fit. Actually, I had a prediction. January of last year, I tweeted out that I would be surprised if Djoko wins 1 Grand Slam. And he's 1-0 since then. My favorite F1 driver is also Ronaldo. Funny dudes. The only ex-commenter here, Portugal World Cup winners 2026. I mean, maybe. I do think that Spain will be favorites. FIFA love money, so Last Dance might happen. Yeah, and probably also in Miami, because I mean, Messi does play for Inter Miami, so it would be perfect. Although I don't think the stadium is big enough to host a game like Argentina Portugal. It would have to be in the biggest stadium out there, or SoFi. I mean, imagine if it's in the SoFi Stadium. Wow, that would be something. But again, I guess we'll only find out next year. We almost got. I think we almost got last World Cup, Argentina, Portugal. Just that Portugal lost against Morocco, so that sucked. But anyways, stocks are red today. That's the conclusion. That's the conclusion of this stream. Plus, it seems like a lot of you like to talk sports, which is very good to know, because I love to talk sports as well. Upcellera. What's Upcellera doing lately? Up. I know it's up. Okay. Very nice. $6. I remember, back in April. Where is it? Was it $2 or so? So, but Upcellera is still like you buy shares for a call option on the future of this company, and all of the results of the research and all of that, future royalties, etc., etc. We'll end the stream here by saying that PayPal is almost break even for the day at down 0.2%. I think that's good enough. Nadal, Verstappen, Alonso, Masters of No BS answers. Correct. Which is probably why people like it. Morocco also beat Belgium. Yeah, I mean, don't talk to me about the last World Cup. That was a complete disaster. That was a complete disaster. I've never seen such an underperformance in my life. And I don't want to talk about it. Will I revive the football channel? Yeah, maybe. I did say I have the Couch Investor Shorts channel, which was purely about shorts, that I said I might repurpose this to gaming and whatnot. But I think I might just revive the football channel because that's much bigger. We got a substitute for Amit. I mean, I'm here every day. 8:30 p.m. Eastern until the markets open, and apparently even 30 minutes after the market, more. I've been live for 2 hours. So this is what happens when a lot of you join. You get a lot more of me and a lot of sports talks as well. We can also talk in the future about whatever, movies and TV shows. The Tulsa King is a pretty good TV show with Sylvester Stallone. Not bad. For those that liked Yellowstone and the whole Yellowstone story, or 1923 and 1883 or something like that, it's the same dude. It's Taylor Sheridan. Very good. Anyways, thank you all for joining. For all of the new viewers, thank you also. You're always welcome on the couch. This is not a casting couch, though, so calm down. Calm your expectations, will you? I see you. But we will be back tomorrow, 8:30 a.m. Eastern, as always. There are 2 videos scheduled for later today. Very interesting ones, I have to say. So, yeah. Is this a real background? No. I wish I had this view, but maybe one day. But the YouTube plaque is very much real. Very much real. So, we'll see you all next time. Tomorrow, hopefully, we'll talk about stocks. We can talk about sports. We can talk about good TV shows and movies as well.